Apollo Saturn launch control, T-minus 5 minutes, 27 seconds and counting. Now, as we move into the final phase of the countdown, we're receiving go, no-go checks from various elements of the launch team. The spacecraft test conductor, Skip Chauvin, gave the test supervisor a spacecraft ready. At that time, on our large status board here in the firing room, the green light came on behind the spacecraft. Green light now is also on behind the emergency detection system. Now standing by for more checks, the mission director, Chet Lee, from the Manned Spacecraft Center in Houston, says we are go for launch, and the range indicates the range is ready to support.
Okay, well, that was pointless. Well, now it's time for the Animated Educated presents the happy magic hour. Yes, it's the happy magic hour with only 3 people watching, but that's okay because one of them is us, so it's actually 2 people. All right, so as you can see, things have gotten a little different. I don't know about you, but I've been I've got this new computer. Well, it's not new. It just had a new hard drive put in. And they said a lot of it was just, I had to clean out my old hard drive. So I was looking for stuff in my old hard drive, and I actually came across this. Yeah, it's spam. Yeah, there's a lot of spam in that computer. And they gave it to me, went to Best Buy, and they gave it back to me. They put it all in this container with bacon. So maybe I can use it later on. So I want to show you just a couple things. Why am I doing this? Why, it's been a while. I know the whole, shutdown and everything. It's changed me a lot. I don't know. My hair has gotten really dark and curly. I don't know why. And I don't have these glasses aren't even my glasses. I don't know where they came from. I just keep putting them back on. It's like, I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I want to kind of show you a little bit of what's been going on with me and some other things. So before all that, we're going to introduce a few things here, since this is kind of the happy hour, and hopefully this will be an hour. It might be half an hour, depending on how many people leave. But anyway, this is Animated Educated. We have a bunch of new shows that will be coming up. And if you haven't been to this site, there's a lot of interesting things I've been putting up here in the past about his father, David Dodhand, and it's called Animation Pioneer David Dodhand. And on the phone from Arizona is his son, David Halehand. Hey, David.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. So you've written this new book. It's autobiography of your dad's work, and you just kind of added stuff to it?
He passed on in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote the book at my sister and my urging, just because, there were a lot of stories that nobody had ever heard, that we had never heard.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked him into writing his autobiography. And because he passed on at that point, I had some other stories that I wanted to tell. The Disney stuff is pretty much laid out in the book. There are interviews and whatnot that will tell you a lot about what Disney was about during the 1930s to the 1944, which was the time that he was there. Gone through the Chicago Institute of Art and gotten his background there.
Now, let me ask you, Chicago Art Institute, or was this something totally different?
No, back in those days, as I understood it from him, it was the Chicago Institute of Art. When he was younger, he lived in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And to make some money, why he would carry film cans from a distributor in New Jersey over into New York. While he was there, he would run into various animation studios, because at that point, New York was the headquarters of all animation.
Uh-huh.
And so he got to know those guys pretty well. He found that was what he really wanted to do. And he really didn't like school.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really into art, and that was it. Well, he left school in the 9th grade, and a buddy of his and he decided they'd go on a trip. And so they went all over the United States. They went on up into Michigan, and he became a lumberjack up there. And he went through Montana, and he went up to Seattle, and then down to L.A. And by that time, Disney had actually started his studio there, but nobody was really set up. Mm-hmm. And so he got nowhere, and he called his dad, and his dad sent him the money so that he, as he said in his book, he said, I got to go home in the train instead of under it. And so his dad told him, well, you got to go and do something with your life. And he gave him a choice of several options for schools, and he chose the Chicago Institute. Mm-hmm. And that was during the First World War, and he would go out on the street and do caricatures to raise money for war bonds. Well, he got out of the Institute, and he got a job with J.R. Bray, who were the biggest studio. They were organized back in the 1880s.
Now, is this in Chicago or in New York?
No, this was in New York.
Oh, okay.
And they were the biggest group out there, and there's a fun story that I won't spoil because you got to read the book to hear about it.
Right.
But Walter Lantz was his boss there. And another person that was working with him was Max Fleischer. And then Max Fleischer broke away, and Dad was working on Out of the Inkwell, and doing the animation and directing on that at that time. Mm-hmm. In about 1928, he decided that it was time that he went to California because the animation industry had started to build there at that time. And he avoided going to Disney to begin with. He heard of his reputation and whatnot, and he wanted to make his own splash out there. But that wasn't working, so eventually he went to the Disney Studios, and he was actually the fourth animator that was hired there at Hyperion. He was hired as an animator, and he did all right with it, but Walt found out that he was better at management and production than really as an animator. And by 1933, they had a storyboard meeting at one point, and Walt told him that he was going to direct Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Whoa. Wow.
And this was radical because, of course, they had been doing silly symphonies, which were short.
Right.
And so Snow White was the first full-length feature that was to be made. Mm-hmm. So anyway, he became supervising director of Snow White, and during the same year, Walt made him head of all production for the studio. And he only worked for Walt. I mean, he was high up in the echelon.
So you could just say that he was Walt Disney's right-hand man?
Well, in a way, that's true.
Okay.
Because he was in charge of all production, and Roy was in charge of all finance.
Okay.
And so those were the next two guys down the ladder from Walt. Mm-hmm. And so they started. They kept on making silly symphonies, but then they started with Snow White, and they worked on that, as you know, for like 7 years before it actually went on the boards. And during that time, he did an awful lot of production work on films, and he still was doing directing on silly symphonies during the same time. Mm-hmm. And of course, the studio was growing leaps and bounds. And so when he got through with Snow White, Disney said, okay. The show of Bambi came up. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of the animators there that felt that Bambi was not the kind of thing that they did. I mean, this was a sad story.
Right. They wanted funny stuff and songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and funny cartoons.
Right.
And Dad was very strong about it. So Walt finally said, "Well, you go ahead and do it. I'm going to go do Fantasia." And so Walt was working on Fantasia. And Dad was working on Bambi, although Dad said that he had to do a lot of the stuff on Fantasia because it just wasn't coming together.
Mm-hmm.
And as a production supervisor, he could see it, as even though he wasn't part of that team, he saw everything that was going on. And if he saw something that was a glitch, why make it known?
Right.
One story that is confusing to a lot of people was the fact that there was a kid running around Disney Studios in Hyperion, and they didn't know who the kid was.
Ah, who was that
Well,
kid?
I cleared that up, and that was me.
So did you get to, I guess you met Walt Disney then, right?
I met Walt Disney, and one of the stories that I have on that was that on Saturdays, why in the morning they would do rushes over in the little theater. And I'd run over there and get my seat in the front row so I could see that. And when they were doing one of the rushes for Fantasia, Walt was sitting right behind me. And so after we ran through the film, my Walt leaned over and he said, "Well, Dave, how did you like that?" Well, I was 6 years old at that time, and I didn't get all this highfalutin music and dancing and all this stuff. And I said, "I didn't like it."
Uh-oh.
Well, that may be the last time I was ever invited to go and see the Saturday morning film.
Oh, no. Well, you were 6, right? You were just trying to...
Yeah.
You're just like, you're just telling how it is. Hey, I don't get it.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, get him out of here. Okay, so the echo is gone. All right, great. Thanks. I just need somebody out there to let me know what's going on. So, as you can see, things have changed. If you just start, we have 6 people now. Wow, that's pretty better than I thought. Okay, so anyway, we were just talking about the virus and stuff. Well, we didn't really mention the virus. No, we're not mentioning it at all. We're all staying at home. Things have changed, as you can see. I think I've said it about 5 times now, but I'm not counting. So I have some things here. Again, this is just a test. But this is the magic hour, so I'm going to see if I can try to show you a few things here with card magic. Ta-da. All right, pick a card, any card at all. Anyway, this one? Okay, how about that one? All right, now I'm going to look over that way. I want you to look at this card, remember it. Don't tell me. All right, I'm looking that way now. So here we go. Remember this card. Okay, turn it over. Now I'm going to pick up this cards. I'm going to go through. I'm actually going to cut the deck like about here. About in the middle. There we go. I'm going to pick this card here. Place it on top. I'll place that one like that. And then what I do is I press this button right here. You can see it's right. Oops. Come on, focus. There we go. Right there is the button I'm pushing. So I push that button. Makes a noise usually. I go through and I find a card that looks a lot different than the other cards. Whoa. I think I found it. Here it is. All right. Now, do you remember the card that you had? So if you see it again, you'll know exactly that it is 7. Ta-da! Thank you. It worked. So you see, it's the only one here, but I'm going to put it right here over this way. Now, what I do is I'm going to take this. Show it to all the other cards like this. I'm going to take that one card and I'm going to bring it over like this. And look what happened. Goes back to the regular deck of cards. Ta-da! Thank you. Bye. The cat video. I should have had the cat. See what it is? I gave the cat, one of our cats, a video camera. I let him just go out and take some videos of, their cats, because I figure that would be funny, right? You could have, instead of making, videotaping your cats doing something, have your cat actually take the video. Gave him the phone, let him go and videotape some stuff. So I guess it didn't work out too good.
What is it? How much?
It's a cat video.
$7.50. $7.50? I don't have $7.50. Well, you better get it. All right. Smell you later.
Kind of dark.
I'll get the $7.50. Gotta get the $7.50. $7.50? No, not there. Okay, $7.50. $7.50. Gotta find it. $7.50. What's there? $7.50. It's over here. Oh. Okay. Go ahead. Let's see. Okay. I see. It's over here. No. Oh. Yeah. What's that? Oh. Okay. No. $7.50. What's that? What the hell? Is that $7.50? Ah. What the hell? What is it? What is this thing? Oh. Okay.
Okay, well, looks like we gained a couple more people. Oh well. So, that's my theory. My theory is that if fart jokes or cat videos, or if you can get cat farting jokes, that I think that would be like viral. I mean, shouldn't say that. So here is just one of those things that I worked on, and I'll talk about it after we see it. So you gotta really watch it quick. It's only 15 seconds, so it doesn't give me much time to do anything. So here we go.
Oh, kind sir, hath not the time cometh to change thine Glade plugins refill?
Don't forget, refill your Glade plugins.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Oh, what happened? Something. Oh. Whoa, what's that? I'm missing some hair back there. Where'd it go? It's somewhere around here. So no, that was something for Glade plugins, and it must have been pretty bad. If you think about it, it's in a bathroom, so whoever is in the bathroom, wow, it must have been really stinky in that bathroom, because it made a towel. It made an angel on a towel, embroidered towel, come to life and tell the guy or lady that politely that you need to put something up here, because it really smells bad in here. So that's a commercial I worked on. That was fun. That was an embroidery effect that I had nothing to do with. All I did was I drew the angel on pieces of paper, something called animation paper, with a pencil, something called a pencil. Pencil that looks kind of like this. This is a modern equivalent of a pencil, but actually it was a different pencil. But yeah, I drew it all on paper, animated it all on paper, and then the guys at the studio I was working at, they took those drawings and put them through some texture thing at the time. I don't know what they did, but they made it look like it was embroidered. Because at first we were going to do animated embroidery, but that would have taken at least 1.5 years. So they said, you know what, could you just draw it and we'll figure out something to do with it? And I said, yeah, let's do that. So that's how it came about. So when I was up there, that was in at Will Vinton Studios. So I'm going to show you another thing from Will Vinton Studios right now. This is from it's a German comedian. There's not many of those, but his name was Mirko, and this is kind of his thing. This is his commercial, and this was kind of like something that they played in Germany, where we had to actually animate in German the M&M. Well, the M&Ms are speaking German. I don't speak German, but the person I was with, she was from Germany, and she was able to figure out the mouth positions and things. So we just animated it like, you know, this just the same way as you'd animate in English. You just listen to the soundtrack very slowly and make those mouths change and hit the beats and all that. So anyway, so with further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the it's called Mirko. It's the M&Ms. If you don't understand it, it's because it's in German. So so here we go. All right, so I'm going to turn it on now. Here we go. Enjoy.
Da kommt er. Hi, Mirko.
Hey, die M&Ms. Wir treten jetzt in deiner Show auf.
Als was denn? Als Schoko-Erdnussklicker mit Armen und Beinen?
Na klar, wir haben's voll drauf.
Ja, warum nicht? Guter Geschmack ist im Fernsehen selten. Wie sieht's denn mit Humor aus?
Okay, was ist das?
Schleichwerbung.
Bisschen flach.
Aber gut.
So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That was Mirko. He's, like I said, he was like the up-and-coming German comedian of the day, and that's his commercial.
Schleichwerbung.
I never found out what Schleichwerbung or whatever it is. But it was a hit in Germany. I mean, sold so many M&Ms there. It's amazing. I thought I would do some magic with these. Yes. Whoops. Whoa. It's Miracle TV cards. Here they are. Now, I'm going to open them up. do some card tricks for you, since this is a magic hour, right? So as you can see, they're all different. Yes, they're all there. Yes. And wait a minute. If I snap my fingers, I can show you that there's the Ace of Spades. Wait a minute, that's not it. Hold on. And the Ace of Spades. No. Where'd it? Oh, wait a minute. What happened here? What? Oh, I get it. Sorry guys, these are TV Miracle cards. These are from the 70s. This was back when we had TVs, and you could only do it, you know, but you can't really do it on TV. So this isn't really TV. This is more digital video now. It's totally different. So these don't work. These are from, yeah, these don't work. But these are the original cards. I think I got these for Christmas one year, and yeah, when they worked, they were great. And as you can see, they're from, there's from Palatine, Illinois, right there. All right, so that wasn't impressive, was it? No, it wasn't. It was actually pretty boring. All right, so anybody that wants to get on the chat room can get on the chat room. I'm looking at the chat room right now, and I thought I would do something with someone out there called Will the Cards Match? Ah, here it is. Okay, here we go. I'd like to play this. I'm going to look at your I'm looking at the chat room, which is in a delay. This is for a trick called Will the Cards Match. Thank you. Will the cards match? Now, what kind of cards are we dealing with? Well, these aren't ordinary cards. Yes, they look ordinary on this side. Yes, but actually these are called a psychic deck. See, I have different types here. I've got a square. I've got wavy lines. I've got circle. I've got, what else we got here? We got circle and that, and you know, they're all in here. Okay, so I've got a couple of these. So now I'm watching the right now I'm watching the like I said, the chat room, and I'm going to ask someone to help me out. I think I see Alejandro is the one that I can actually see him typing. So I'm going to ask Alejandro to help me out with this. All right. Okay, so Alejandro, as you see, I have a bunch of cards. I'm not going to show you. I can show you like that. There's the weird deck of cards. Yeah, these are from like telekinesis deck, I guess you can call it. All right, so he says sure. All right, so we're in a delay system. So I'll ask the question. I have to wait a little bit for his response. So here are all the cards. I'm going to ask you to, we're going to put 2 piles here, but I want to ask you first, do you want me to deal it like back and forth, or do you want me to deal 5 at a time and 5 at a time? So I'm asking that now to Alejandro, letting me know. Back and forth. Okay, so back and forth. So here we go. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Back and forth. Okay, so back and forth. So here we go. There we go. Great. Now, I'm going to let you tell me which to pick one up. All right, now remember, the name of this game is called Will the Cards Match? All right, cards match. Let's see. Oops, that's actually pretty cool effect right there. Just by doing this, will the cards match? Ooh. All right, so I'd like Alejandro, if you would, just tell me which one shall we do? Should we use A or B? Just give me an A or B. Okay, so anyway, he wants A. So this is A. So remember, it's will the cards match. So I'm going to pick up this, and I'm going to put down, I'm going to say W. So I'm spelling this out, basically. So I'm going W, and then you'll say, which one do you want? This one or this one? A or B? All right, so like I said, it's going to take some time, but it's going to be really well worth it. All right, so one, A again, he says. All right, I, and we want L, which is L. A, he wants A again. Okay, so will, W, I, L. So that's the next one. Which one now? Trying to spell these out. B. Oh, he says B. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take this at B. So now I've just come to these 2 cards like this, right? Okay, so I'm going to put them right over here. So now I'm going to ask you, which one do you want to start with, A or B? So that's will, and then we're going to spell out 3 more letters. The. So A or B, which one are we using? Now A for Annie. Okay, so he went to A again. All right, so we're going to pick all these up. And now all I do is I just take the top one and I put it on the bottom like that. So that's A. That's T for the. H, which would H be? Okay, Annie says yay, A. So I'm going to do another one for her. So H, okay, and what would be A or B? The. So we have to put E down now. Again, this is a long trick, but it takes longer because we're doing it this way. B. Oh, someone says B. Okay, Alejandro says B. So I'll just do his like that. All right, so I got these 2 now. All right, so now we're at 2. Let's see, what's the name of the game? The name of the game is Will the Cards. Okay, so we're starting with C. So which is C? Which one am I starting with? A says Wafu, or whatever that person's name is. Okay, A. So that's C. Spelling out the word. It is like doing a trick from the moon. Except my hands would be floating and all the cards would be floating around. So, okay, so we're at C, so we need to spell out A now. So which one is it going to be, guys? Just throw out some numbers there, some letters, A or B. And I'll just grab it whenever I see the first ones I see, I'll just put it out there. B. All right, good job. So that's A, and then there's, oh, somebody put B again. Okay, so we'll put B. So that's R. So now we have D. D. Which one is D? Yeah, 9 viewers. All right. Oh, B. Another one over here. D. And then S. Which is S? A or B? Days later. A again. All right. So she says A for animation. There we go. We did that. We take, that's the cards pile. We'll put it right over here so you can see it. Match. We're at the last word, guys. M, which is going to be A. Somebody says A. I see A, so I'm going to go A. That's M. A. Another. Which one? Which one? So now we're going to do B. Okay, B. That's for A, for match. Then we'll make another B. Someone put B. Very good. That's for T. And now CH. All right, I'm going to go with A, just why not? There, somebody put A already. Great, we all thought A. That's weird. That's the magic, right? All right, and now the last one is C, which is H right here. So is it A or B? I'll give you one guy. A or B, guys? Just say, type it out. Yeah, I see yeah. No, I don't need a yeah. I need an A or a B. We're almost there. We're almost there. This is the big end of the thing. B. Someone says B. Great. All right, here's the B. There's the B. And Will. Here we go. There we go. We put the cards and the last 2 cards. Here they are. Here they are. Will the cards. What's the name of the trick, guys? The name of the trick is Will the cards match. There they are. They're all there. They haven't left my hand. Will the cards match? And yes, they do. Now everybody turns it off their thing. That sucks. No. Let's see if they do. Well, let's see. There's one. And there's the other one. Cue music. Yes, we need music. I don't have music. There they go. They worked. That's it. That's the name of the game. There it is. How is that? You like that? Is that a great one? Was that good? Well, wait a minute. What's the name of the game? What's the name of the game? Will the cards match? I wonder, could they possibly? Look at that. Wait a minute. Look, they do. Wait a minute. Hold it. Do you suppose? One more. Wait a second. Wait a minute. What? Ta-da! They all match. Look at that. The longest magic trick you've ever sat through. Hopefully it was worth it. Amazing. Thank you for playing. I hope you enjoyed that. All right. Well, gosh, it's 5 o'clock. Boy, and I've wasted everyone's hour. Go. And now for card magic. Here we go. All right. I'm going to place the deck right here. Here we go. And let's see. Focus on the deck here. I'm going to focus on the deck. Focusing on the deck. Here we go. And no more of this. No more of this. Oh, what's this? Why, it's an ancient magic castle napkin. Look at that. Look at that. If it could just focus a little bit there. There we go. Actually see, it's a magic castle. I haven't done this in a while. Look at this, see? I got a whole bunch of these because when I was at the magic castle, I took a bunch of their napkins because I found out they're kind of magical. show you what I'm talking about. If you open them up like this, you can spread, magic on this side of the napkin. And you press magic on that side of the napkin. Ooh, look at that. And then what you do, hold this up. Let's see if I can do this right. Hold it up like this. Do a little origami. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's like that. And then you kind of fold it here, like that. And you have to rip it a certain way. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this like this. And I want everyone out there kind of ripping this napkin like this. And as you can see, I've got this thing like that. And I've just ripped this in half. All right, so now what I'm going to do is show you that yes, no, it's not the coronavirus. No, it isn't. It isn't the coronavirus. It's a circle. Thank you. But that's not the trick. The trick is that even in this time of plague, whenever we have this problem, always think about other things. Even in this time, 1, 2, 3, I can open it up and show you that the magic has still occurred. Even this old napkin from the Magic Castle from probably 5 or 6 years ago still works. And look, it's Captain America. Ta-da! There we go. Now there you go, a little souvenir for you. Thank you. The end. Okay, there we go. We're back. So I hope you enjoyed that. I want to end. I didn't really get to show you too much animation I'm working on right now, but I got to go back. I'm doing this thing with tiger stripes. It's driving me crazy. Oh, I got all these. I don't want to think about it. So anyway, I wanted to end with this. This is a book. Some of you guys, somebody said if I was in animation, animated or survival kit. Yes, I am. Check it out. I think it's on page 183 or 83. I don't know. Anyway, this is something that I found at I actually grew up on this book. This is from John Kingmaker's Raggedy Ann and Andy. This is a book that I found. My mom had this a long time ago. She worked for a woman who wanted her to do animation because she knew that she could draw and did watercolors, painting, things like that, but she didn't know anything about animation. So they got her this book to like basically, well, you read this book, you'll know it. It was a big tent in Chicago, and it was this book. They were selling all these books, and I just happened to see this book, and this is from my childhood. And I was like, oh my God, this is the book, and I go, oh crap, whoa, this is it. It's a $25 book, and I look on the first page, and it says as is, $200. So I said, oh, I don't have $200. Doggone it. And it's water. See, it's got some water damage to it. It also has this from the author to someone named Charles. So kind of dated it. John Kingmaker actually signed this book in 1981. This is about the time. I wasn't in Chicago at the time. I was there at 82, so this is a year. It just happened to find me. Anyway, so I talked to the person. I said, oh, is this really $200? I said, no, it's $2. I'm like, oh, $2, yeah. So I got the book. I was so happy. So I'm looking along here. I'm looking along, la la la, looking through, reminiscing about when I was a kid, not knowing anything about, and I come up to this famous picture of Ollie Johnson and and Frank Thomas and of course who else? Eric Larson. And I'm looking at it, and then I go, holy crap! What? So Ollie Johnson and Frank Thomas was there somewhere, and they signed this. They signed this book. I was like, oh my gosh, they signed it. So I told Mr. Williams about this book. I said, this is the book that kind of got me started into animation, because back in the day there was no books about animation at all. And here, when I met him, when he came to Portland, Oregon, I told him all about it. He actually autographed this to me, and he said, oops, he said, it's not my fault, Jim. So he signed it July 28th, 1999. 30 years later, after all this. Couldn't believe it. So anyway, that's the pretty cool magic, animation magic that I like. I do have a book. I do have the animation survival kit book, which I had Richard Williams sign, and before he died and everything. And it was really interesting. I'll tell you a story about him. He came to Will Vinton Studios where I was working, where I did those commercials I showed you earlier today. And he came there, and nobody knew who he was. They were like, who's this guy? He wants to give us a workshop? I don't know. And I was like, Richard Williams. Oh, this guy. Yeah. So I actually had to educate everybody who this guy is, and what's great about getting to get his master class in front of us, talking to us for 2 days. And so he came in, I met with him and everything, and he was like really nice, real friendly and everything. And we go to the actual lecture, and he's got this big whiteboard up, and the whiteboard's up, and he's up there. He's like, okay, now I'm going to go over walking and how to do that. And so he was doing his lecture all from the book before the book came out. And what happened was, at first he started drawing on the whiteboard with a Sharpie. So he puts all this stuff, all these notes and everything, and he goes up and he goes to wipe the board. Oh no. Well, so they're all like, oh no. And so he turned the thing over. There was another whiteboard on the other side. So he's like, oh dear, what have I done? It's like, oh, okay, that's all right. We got it. And so someone else was on the other side. The other side, though, we've had like rubbing alcohol, and they're rubbing all his text off of the other side of They should have just kept it, and they could have sold it by now. But anyway, he had that, and he had his dry erase marker now, and so now he's drawing up all these drawings. And he's saying, okay, now your left foot goes here, and now the passing position is here and stuff. And he's going on, and he's like, he's doing this. He's rubbing like some of the stuff off, and he's like, going like this, and he's like drawing some more like this, and then he's rubbing it with a hand. They didn't have a eraser for him, so he sometimes would just use his hand, and then he'd be talking to everybody, and then he'd be like, like this, and that's what we have to do. And then he'd rub, and he'd be like, yeah. Well, by the end of the lecture, he had like all this black dry erase marker like this. He looked like a raccoon, and he's like, okay, well, I guess we're going to break for lunch now. So everyone go to lunch and you can come back. And everybody's like, yay, And, and he walks up to me. I go, wow, that's really good. And he's like, how am I doing? And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's real good, but you might want to go to the bathroom. You got some stuff. You got some mascara going on there. Said, oh no. So then he ran off and he washed it off and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty funny. And it was really, that was a really interesting lecture because he went over through everything. I mean, he went through how to do a walk, how to do jumps, all the stuff that's in that book, and just went on and on and on. And it's so funny because all the animation people that knew or were interested we all had to go. Even the people who are producers and production assistants, things like that, they had to go. Everybody had to go to the studio. It would be an insult if you didn't go, so you had to go. So they all went, and all the producers, I looked over, another come back after lunch? Oh God, that's so boring. Who cares? Passing position. It's extreme. What the fuck? Oh, this is so boring. Oh my God. Oh God, just kill me now. Kill me now. All the animation people are like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, and they're drinking notes and everything, drawing and all that stuff. And this is before cell phones were kind of active, so they couldn't even look at their phone to escape. They had to sit there and just passing position. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Milk call. What? Milk call? Mickey call? What is he talking? I don't know. I just want to get out of here, and I can't get out. I have to stay here. So anyway, so that was like, it was a heaven for animators, and it was totally hell for the other stuff. So, all right. So anyway, I'm going to go. Everybody's starting to leave, and I'll see you all next time on Animated Educated. Maybe we'll do this again. We'll call it. Thanks for the Happy Magic Hour show. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you didn't, please subscribe. And if you did, subscribe again. Thanks again. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye, everybody.